approximately 19:38 hours, officers were dispatched to 204 Reinhardt Road in reference to a shooting. When officers arrived, they saw Kenneth Moore lying in the parking lot behind a 2003 black Ford Expedition. Officers observed that Kenneth Moore had a gunshot wound to the right side of his neck and a gunshot wound to his right armpit. 2 spent .45 caliber shell casings and a live .45 caliber round were found at the scene near Kenneth Moore's body. No weapons were located at the scene. On November 10, 2014, the witness gave a sworn statement under oath at the Conroe Police Department that Mr. Sherrod Miller made contact with her at her residence on November 10, 2014 at 800 hours. She stated that Mr. Miller told her that he shot Kenneth Moore in the parking lot at 204 Reinhardt on November 8, 2014, after Kenneth Moore tried to pull a handgun on him. On November 10, 2014, at about 22:20 hours, Detective Gray made contact with Mr. Miller at number 48 Dixie Court. Mr. Miller agreed to go to the detective office to be interviewed. After being advised of his rights, Mr. Miller stated that he was at 204 Reinhardt Road to see his cousin, Ernest Moore Jr., who was having a barbecue at the business. Ernest Moore Jr. is the business owner of the detail shop at 204 Reinhardt Road. Mr. Miller said Kenneth Moore was also there. Mr. Miller said Mr. Ernest Moore Jr. tried to mediate an ongoing conflict between him and Kenneth Moore. Mr. Miller said after Kenneth Moore threatened to kill him and Ernest Moore Jr., Kenneth Moore attempted to pull a black handgun from his waistband. Mr. Miller said when Kenneth Moore attempted to pull the gun from his waistband, Mr. Miller got his Versa .45 caliber out of his right rear pocket. Mr. Miller said he shot once and the handgun jammed. Mr. Miller said he shook the gun to clear the jam and fired another round as Kenneth Moore was falling. Mr. Miller stated after the shooting Mr. Moore, he drove to Martin Luther King Park and threw the handgun in the lake. Mr. Miller does not have any prior felony history. Based on the allegations in the affidavit, the state requests a bond amount of $100,000 secured.